Hi friends, we are in the sixth video of this Robotics Software PicoDegree. In this series, we started with how to build the robot and enable the sensors. We teleoperated our robot. We mapped the house with Lidar. We also did navigation in last video. And finally, today we will be doing obstacle avoidance. So before doing obstacle avoidance, let's discuss a scenario where we don't have obstacle avoidance in any robot. So for these robots to function, you will need a perfect world, which is impossible. So some of you would be like, let's talk about dark warehouses where there are no humans. But still, there will be scenarios where the objects in the warehouse will be here and there, and those will become dynamic obstacles for our robot. So if you want to know exact location of each and every piece in your warehouse, you will need to use advanced technologies which will be very costly, and that solution will become very expensive and not practical. And if you see this pie chart, where if you see what percentage of robotics is used in different fields, you see major chunks are autonomous vehicles, agriculture, warehouses, logistics, etc. So if you don't have obstacle avoidance, none of this will be possible and your robotics industry will shut. Hence, this shows that obstacle avoidance is very critical in your robotic software stack. So now let's go into details of obstacle avoidance. So in obstacle avoidance, there are two parts. First being you need to detect the obstacle, and second thing you need to avoid it. So if we talk about detection, you can use different technologies like sensors on the robot, where you will have a Lidar which scans around and gives the location of the obstacles with respect to the robot. You can have 2D or 3D Lidar. You can also have 2D or 3D cameras where you can get a point cloud of different things around and make sense out of what are obstacles and what are free spaces. And the second part is obstacle avoidance. So I'll be sharing a link in the description which gives good basic knowledge of how obstacle avoidance algorithms are implemented. So it talks about four major types of obstacle avoidance, where the first one is bug-to algorithm, which goes near the obstacle and tries going around the obstacle in order to reach the goal. So this algorithm works for many cases, but you can yourself make number of cases where this algorithm will be stuck. Second algorithm is artificial potential field, where you treat your space as a vector field where your obstacles are repelling everything and your goal is attracting the robot. So when you place a robot in a particular position, you will get a vector which gives you an optimal direction in order to reach the goal, and that is where you need to travel, and slowly you will reach the goal. This method also has some drawbacks, which brings up to the third method, which is fuzzy logic. So this is a bit abstract concept of computer science, where you take in inputs from different sensors like odometry, Lidar, camera, etc. Then you do the fuzzification. So you have basic rules which you need to follow. And once you fuzzify the data, you know what you want, but it is not in your command velocity domain. So you defuzzify the data and finally you get a command velocity. If you want to know more about fuzzy logic, you can read this paper. And finally, last but not the least is our neural networks. So this is basically treating our robot controller as if it's a human brain. So we give it a neural network and we train it by teaching it how to avoid an obstacle, and letting it make mistakes. And finally, after thousands of trials, it will learn how to avoid obstacles. This is a bit tricky and involved concept, but it will generalize better. So, depending on your scenario, you can choose a method or mixture of methods. But today we will be using inbuilt method which is a part of MoveBase. So let's start the implementation and let's get our hands dirty. After learning about different methods of obstacle avoidance and seeing output of our project, let's see what all we need to tweak in order to add obstacle avoidance in our navigation stack. So if you have not seen our navigation video, do click on the top and first have a look at how we configured our MoveBase, and then it will be very easy to continue. So for this video, we are going to use a repository on GitHub named Robotics PicoDegree. This is the repository which we made for this series, and for today's video, we will be git checking out to obstacle avoidance branch. So if I hit code, I open the Visual Studio Code. So now in today's video on higher level, we will be doing two changes. One being we will remap our laser scan topic, and secondly, we will add our laser scan topic in local costmap. First of all, let's catkin make our project. Yeah, it's catkin made, and let's source ROS launch bring up master.launch. So when I launch this project, I should see a Webots world, and you will see here we have two obstacles here which are not mapped in our map, and also you will see an RViz where we know our robot is localized. So for now, I'll minimize these two terminals. I'll open a new terminal. So first of all, let's see how to remap a topic. In the navigation package, we have a remap.cpp file. So first of all, let's look at the topic name of our laser scan. So let's do ROS topic list, and we'll grep it by laser. So if you see here, our topic name is namespaced by Webots, and this name changes every time we spawn a Webots instance. So in this file, we are going to do 3 steps. First being, we will get this name. So if I do ROS topic echo model name, I get this name. So our first step will be to subscribe the model name topic to get that dynamic name. Then we will subscribe to the laser topic, which will give us the data. And finally, we will publish the same data on a constant topic, which is /laser scan. So this is the first part of our obstacle avoidance video. Now, once we have remapped our topic, let's add the laser scan in our local costmap. So for that, we will go to our local costmap parameters. So here, if you see, you will have a new tab which is obstacle layer. So we added a plugin of obstacle layer, and as we have 2D obstacle, so we will be using costmap 2D obstacle layer. If you are implementing this on drone, you will have the name as obstacle layer, and the type will be costmap 2D voxel layer because that is used for adding obstacles in 3D. So now let's look at obstacle layer. So in our obstacle layer, we have laser scan sensor. This name can be anything, but this name should match the name of the property of your sensor. We have footprint clearing enabled because whenever we see a point inside our footprint, robot should not consider that as an obstacle because you may have a robot where it's one of the link is moving. Laser may sometimes see that link and consider it as an obstacle. After this, we see the details of our laser scan sensor. In this case, our data type is laser scan. If you are not sure of the data type of your laser, just do ROS topic info on laser scan or the topic of your laser scan. So you see here our type is sensor message slash laser scan. Hence our data type is laser scan, and we have our Lidar situated exactly above base link. So we will be using sensor frame as base link, and we want our Lidar to clear the obstacle once it's gone and also mark the obstacle if there is one. And the topic name we have is slash laser scan. This is what we made in our last file, where now we have a topic name which is constant and does not change with respawning Webots. So if you notice, we have just explored how costmap 2D package works. You can add number of layers depending on your application. After this, let's look at the application. This is the most fun part. So we open RVis, and here if you notice, we see the laser scan, which is our robot laser scan. If I change it to flat color and if I make the color as red, so it's visible. So you see our real-time laser scan, which is red in color. Let's take the simulator this side. So you see here, once we move this crate here, the laser scan is changing. So you see here we can get the shape of the box. Once we get it near, if it comes inside our local cost map, it is adding the cost. So if this is the case now, and if I plan a path, we have lot of obstacles here. Hence, robot will not be able to reach the goal. But if I remove the obstacle, it cleared the obstacle. So that is how we set the properties of laser, as it can mark as an obstacle and it can clear the obstacle. So now let's give a goal. So if I go to nav goal and let's give goal somewhere. So it planned a path and it saw an obstacle and it reached the goal. You see here, our robot is able to see this obstacle, which is this crate, very faintish, but it does not come in our cost map limits. That is why that is not added as a cost map. It is good to not add the obstacles in global cost map because it will save it forever. So now if I plan path again near the crate, it should avoid the crate. So if I give a goal here, so the global cost map does not have any idea about the obstacle. Robot is trying to avoid the obstacle. And yeah, it found a path. So it is going through tight spaces and finally it reached the goal. Also, there will be cases where it will not able to reach the goal. So MoveBase has a great implementation of recovery behaviors. We will see in a moment. And now it reach a place where there's an obstacle and it cannot go around it. So it will implement its recovery behavior where it will try to rotate around and find a place. And finally, when it knows that it cannot find a solution, it will send a cancel in MoveBase. And also, one more last thing which you need to know is if you have such dots in your cost map where in your real life the sensor is not clearing the cost map, you can use a move based service which is called ROS service call slash move base clear cost map. So if you run this, you saw here all the noise which sensor was seeing got cleared. So this service is really helpful when you are implementing the obstacle avoidance on real robot. So this was all about today's video. Do comment and share your issues of your obstacle avoidance implementation. Thank you and do subscribe to Soft Illusion.